Hi, family. It is African Osarenko back at you again for another episode with me. And, family, before I start, I do want you to like and share the video and also please subscribe if you haven't already done so. So, family, I'm coming to you today to discuss these diaspora war in these streets out here, okay? In these YouTube streets and in these other streets too, okay? So, I'm coming because I see there is so much tension between, um, the brothers and the sisters in the diaspora. And I don't know where this is coming from, but I do know where it's coming from. This is something that was absolutely taught to us, okay? This was something that was taught to us a long, long time ago. And it was not just taught on the African American side or the Black American side. This is something that was also taught on the African side and the Caribbean side. We all know that because I've had African and Caribbean people to tell me that they have been told that Black Americans are lazy and sell drugs and all of those kinds of negative things. And Black Americans have been told that Africans are crafty as far as, quick fingered and will rip you off and things like that. Brothers and sisters, this is, excuse my French, bullshit. These are things that we are being told to turn us against one another. Let us say bamboozled. Let us say tricked and hoodwinked. Again, let us use Brother Malcolm's terms so that we understand we're being used. We have to stop being used. And I'm talking about the whole diaspora. I'm talking about the brothers and sisters that are on the continent of Africa, every country, all 54 countries, any that are there that have those negative perceptions, that have never met African Americans, and you just have negative perceptions about African Americans for whatever reason. For whatever reason, okay? For whatever you've seen on TV. If you see a few people doing a few things, that does not mean everybody's doing the same thing. Just like we don't believe that everybody on the continent is committing 419 schemes or scams or things like that. It's just not happening. You know what I'm saying? And doing other things. And everybody on the continent is not trying to marry an American or a UK citizen so that they can get citizenship to one of those countries. Come on, we got to stop it. We got to stop it. I think recently there was some videos that were made because of a woman that made some videos, Miss Passport Traveler Kimberly, and she was giving her truths of what she feels is going or has occurred uh, with her while she's been living in Ghana. Now, everybody may not like certain truths. Everybody may not feel the same. I will say this. I was in Tanzania. I had no issues. I love Tanzania. I love the Tanzanian people. They are a beautiful people. I have found out a few years ago that I am a descendant of Sierra Leone, and the Sierra Leonean people are beautiful people. Okay, we have to understand that everybody is not going to have the same experience. To be honest with you, I've been to a few countries. I've been to Jamaica, beautiful people. I've been to the Bahamas, beautiful people. Have I had experiences in some of those countries where there were some people that were kind of nasty? Absolutely. But outside of that, have I met some wonderful, beautiful people, brown skinned black people that were just awesome people that I will never forget. And I hope will never forget me. In fact, there are some that I still remain in contact with till this day and will be seeing them soon, as I will be on the continent soon. Absolutely. So we have to understand and love each other as we were put here to do so. We're all one people. We really are. We may have different cultures, different backgrounds. We may have been raised differently. We may eat different things. And that is because there is one that was raised in the belly of the beast with the Wendigo spirit and the jackal, which is the African Americans, us. Then there is the second that was not raised within the belly of the beast, however, had the beast over the land that was their land, that colonized their land, stole their resources, pillaged their villages, and did horrible things to their women and their children. Africans. So we have both been traumatized by the same beast. It is no different. And rather than turn that on that beast, we turn it on each other. And family, we need to stop that. We really do. Because we're hurting ourselves. I want to read you something, family. This is something that has been a long time in the making. So this didn't just start today. This is something that the United States government has worked on and conspired for many, many years. So let me read you something. In the United States, some scholars who have studied relationships between African Americans and African immigrants or Africans abroad have observed a social distance between both groups. In 2012, Adobe Chimaka Ihidera, excuse me if I'm saying the name wrong, a graduate student at Wright State University, Ohio, wrote a doctoral thesis on how racism plays a prominent role in shaping this dynamic. The young woman was very, very smart and understood quite well. Okay. Um, uh, it internalized racism is the acceptance of stereotypes or beliefs that paints one's racial group as subhuman, inferior, and incapable of dignified task and a burden to society, according to Laura M. Padilla, a professor at the California Western School of Law. Howard W. French, a professor at the Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism, provides historical context that explains how American politics, popular culture, and education have all combined over a long period of time to inhibit a close relationship between African Americans and the African continent. For a very long time in the 20th century, during the Jim Crow years in particular, African Americans were encouraged to shun the idea of a connection to Africa and to think of Africa as poorly, to celebrate traits in themselves which supposedly distance themselves from Africa. In other words, to think of themselves as more cultured, more Christian, more white, more civilized than Africans, and therefore to look at Africanness as a matter of shame or a kind of taint that needed to be avoided. Okay? So this was something, family, that was taught. This was something that was taught by the American government, by the slave master, by the Willie Lynch, by the everything. It was taught to the African Americans. It was also when the colonizers went abroad, they taught the Africans to hate the African Americans. Why else would African Americans and Africans hate each other? Why? We had never really come into contact after slavery. I mean, during since we were sold into slavery. So why would we have hatred for each other? It's no reason, because African Americans cannot blame Africans for solely for what happened to us in slavery. We can't. We have to acknowledge other factors. Okay, I am sure that those that did participate uh, in the slave trade, transatlantic slave trade, did not believe that African Americans that were, or Africans that were being sold into slavery were going to be tortured and treated to the level that they were. I absolutely don't believe that they believed that. Now, I absolutely do believe that there were some that were trying to save themselves because they were afraid, because they were being threatened with death themselves and their families and stuff. It is long time, family. It is long time for us to let the animosity go and to go back to God's people, because we are all God's people. Melanated people, as we are God's people. We are the children of God, and we need to behave in such a manner. And we need to come back together, family, because this diaspora war is ridiculous. If, in my opinion, it is very ridiculous, because there are so many other things we need to be galvanizing and trying to come together on things and trying to come together to build. African Americans have did so many tremendous, wonderful things here in America. We have had a hand in everything, just about anything that is everything that is of any use in America. An African American had something to do with it being made, being invented. Just about anything that is everything that is useful in America. So, with that knowledge, what do you think? And the knowledge that is on the continent, what do you think we could do together? See, this is something that they don't want. This is something that Muammar Gaddafi wanted. You know what I'm saying? This is something that other great leaders wanted. This is something that Brother Malcolm X wanted. This is something that Brother Farrakhan was talking about. This is something that so many of them before us were trying to communicate. Family, we got to let the beefing go, because the beefing is not getting us anywhere. It's getting us further away from the goals that we really should be trying to accomplish. I love Africans and I love Black Americans. I love Black Caribbeans. I love Black people globally. I do. And I hope you do too. This channel is dedicated to African Americans, because I'm an African American. I was born in America. And we went through so many things here in America, and we continue to fight. And I have so much inspiration for African Americans, but it's time for us, for our people to come together because there is a fight coming and we need to get ready. There is a huge fight coming and we need to get ready and we need to build and we need to build together. Okay? So, family, I love you guys, whether you are on the continent, in the Caribbean, or in America. I do. I love you all. I want you all to be blessed and take care. And I want you all to keep your heads up and focus. All right, family, be blessed. Take care. All right, thanks. Bye.